After training hundreds of nutrition coaches, I've pinpointed 5 things that you don't need to help people and make money as a nutrition coach. Today, I'm gonna go through them all, and the last one derails so many nutrition coaches, so make sure to watch until the end. But here they are, the 5 things you don't need, starting with number 1, a low ticket product. They come in the form of challenges and ebooks or supplements and apparel. And I can say this sincerely, you are not going to get rich or even make a livable wage selling these type of products, especially as a nutrition coach. But I do understand why they're so appealing, because if you can sell something that costs less to more people, you should be able to make more money and help more people, right? In theory, yes, this makes sense. But in reality, those who pay, they pay attention, and a $50 product, it only gets so good of results and attracts people that really only want a deal. And to make matters worse, and here's the kicker, the nutrition coaches that are selling these low ticket products, they're only selling them because they're afraid of selling something more expensive, because they don't want to sell things. It makes them feel icky. But I've said this before and I'll say it again, most business problems are just personal problems in disguise. So if you're ultimately avoiding selling things that will change people's lives, you need to ask yourself why. Usually it's not a lack of confidence, you just need a strategy to sell your services. But no one's ever shown you that, because people that are passionate about things like nutrition think it's unfair to sell things. They feel like they're ripping people off, which couldn't be further from the truth. It's totally not the case at all. The only thing that's unfair about this arrangement is if you don't learn to sell your services, the amount of people that will miss out on getting help. Well, they will get help, but they'll get it from the wrong people. They'll get it from people that care only half as much as you do. So do it for them and not through low ticket offers, because that's not going to work. The solution is building your sales skills and having conviction around how you will help people through your one-on-one coaching. That is the solution and the answer. Now, one thing I do want to point out is this doesn't mean that you can't have free or quick or less expensive resources or freebies or guides or things that you give away, but it just can't be your main business offering. I'd rather see you give away things that would be $20 or $30 completely for free and use it as a strategy to get people in your world where you can show them how you'll help and ultimately sell them on one-on-one coaching, which is going to be the best opportunity to help them. In an ideal world, you'll have one free thing to promote to get people in, and then also an expensive item to sell. Nothing in between, especially not a low ticket offer that really doesn't push the needle. Here is the next thing you don't need, which is number 2, a website. Before you get started nutrition coaching, you need a domain and a business name and a website, right? This one holds so many coaches back, and it's probably the number 1 thing that you think you need when in reality you don't. Sure, a website adds to the credibility of your business, but it's not necessary. In reality, what happens is when you're focusing on the perfect website design and brand colors, you're just delaying doing the actual work, which is finding clients and developing your nutrition coaching system. You can do all of this without a website, and the best place to start is creating a simple Google form for an application form and directing people to apply there. I've worked with thousands of nutrition clients through this method. There's no need for a website that potential clients don't really care about. In reality, the social media content that you create should warm people up to the idea of working with you. In 2023, your social media feed is like your storefront, or what a website used to be. It tells people who you are, who you help, what specific outcomes you help people achieve, what the results are like, and what life would look like if they achieve those results, and how you do things differently. And you can do all of this stuff without a domain or without a professional looking website, especially as you start. Now here's another thing that will keep you waiting, which is number 3, years of experience. Some of the best nutrition coaches that I've ever trained, the ones that make a bunch of money and get amazing results for their clients, have little experience when they first get started. They haven't studied this stuff forever or gotten a formal degree. And if I've learned anything the hard way, the more education you get, sometimes the harder it is to get out of your own way, because you become more and more disconnected with who you want to help. But when you're new, when you don't have much experience, you're much closer to where your potential clients are at. So you have a better understanding of what they're going through. All you really need to create a profitable business is the right strategy and passion. And when you have that, you can help people and make money without years of experience. I've had countless students like this in my Dr. Mark Method program, my nutrition certification program. someone with an amazing personal transformation story that wants to use their experience to help other people. We call these type of coaches the role model experts because in most cases, they're just one step ahead of their potential clients. Let me tell you a story about Dr. Mark Method graduate Michelle. After losing 65 pounds herself through macro counting, Michelle wanted to take this experience and help others. But she was feeling stuck, feeling like, yeah, I've had some personal success, but what do I know about helping others? And this is a really common feeling for a lot of people that have a personal success story but want to help other people. And it could have kept her stuck, but the Dr. Mark Method program gave her the right strategy and everything she needed and nothing she didn't need to help clients get results. And she dove into this process and learned as she went. And the best part of all of this, she never felt like an imposter. She was able to find her authentic voice, and instead of showing up like the expert coach that knew it all, she would tell her own story and her own transformation, and the response was crazy because other people, they saw themselves in that story. One specific post created interest from over 20 people. And this was without years of experience. Just like anything else, sometimes experience is the thing that limits us, the thing that we think that we need to put ourselves out there. In reality, we don't. Here's another thing you think you need, but you probably don't. Number 4, a big social media following. I'm not getting enough clients because I don't have a big social media following and enough followers and attention. This is another thing that most coaches think they need when in reality they don't. And if anything, it's a limiting belief that's stopping them from growing right now. I want you to think about this. How many clients could you take on this week in the best case scenario? It's probably not more than 5. And then follow up with this. How many clients would I need to have in order to quit my job and do this full time? That's probably closer to 25 total. And to get there, you don't need thousands of people following you on social media. Actually, most of the coaches that I certify through the Dr. Mark Method, they get to this level with having less than 500 followers, which mainly consists of friends, family, work colleagues, and acquaintances. This is where all this stuff starts, and you need to focus on what you do have. Leverage those relationships as you build up your nutrition coaching systems and relationships, and your social media following, it will follow. And keep in mind, the amount of followers you have, that's not what's stopping you from getting clients. That's far from it. If anything, that's just a badge of honor and has a lot more to do with your own ego than anything else. You don't need a big social media following to succeed, and I hate to break it to you, there are many fitness influencers that are flat out broke and making no money. That is not the thing that you want to chase. Okay, so to recap here, so far we have a low ticket offer. You don't need that. You don't need a website. You don't need years of experience, nor do you need a big social media following. Which leaves us with our last point, which is number 5, the most important one. You think you need to have everything figured out or ready. Here's the big one and the toughest lesson that I had to learn. I know you want to have everything figured out so you can be successful, but the unfortunate truth is you become successful by figuring things out as you go. And you won't be ready if you delay getting started or put things off because you got to create this resource first, or have all of your forms and processes completely settled. And honestly, you don't want to have them finalized because they're going to change anyway. Rumor actually has it that famous inventor Thomas Edison would write down lists and lists of potential inventions and things that he could create. And then he would take those lists and ask people what he should invent, and that validated his ideas. And he would validate his idea before sinking tons of hours and energy into creating something that people might not want. And this lesson is super important in the nutrition coaching world. Don't create or work on things that no one needs or wants. I actually had this happen to me just last week. I was in the middle of my workday and I was moving a bunch of things around, doing some admin-based work that was taking me way too much time. I was reorganizing this client handbook that I had been using for a while, and then it hit me. No one had asked me to do this or to have it ready. I was working on something that no one expected. In the old me, I would have just put my head down and got through it, but I just bailed and I actually saved myself hours. And this is a really common situation that most nutrition coaches find themselves in. First off, they're creating stuff that people don't want or they haven't asked them for. And most importantly, these tasks are stopping them from getting clients because they think they need them first. So they stay stuck at a standstill, all because they think they need to have things ready or finalized before they start. This is all completely backwards, and here's what you need to do. Take the plunge, put yourself out there, and get people signed up to work with you, and build confidence through that process, figuring out what you need to do as you go by listening to what they need and revamping what you've already created, and then go from there. That's how you run a successful nutrition coaching business, by focusing on the things that people actually want and totally avoiding what you don't actually need. Now, as great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about starting a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'll have you do is check out this video I've linked up right here. The next thing I want to show you is what a nutrition coach making 6 figures per year does every day. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video.